All right, what's good, motherfuckers? We are live. And we're here to talk about. We haven't done this actually ever. I don't think we've ever done a card breakdown like this before, where we just pre-record it, have a bit of a chat, see where it goes. But yeah, today I figure we'll do something a little bit different. We will break the card down fight by fight and do it this way and see, whoever wants to jump in. We will, engage as we go along. So if anyone's got any comments or anything they want to add in the meantime, please do that. So we're up to UFC Vegas 91 now.
Dude, I lose track of these freaking numbers.
You know what it is? We've had 91 fucking cards in this shithole. And that's the part that really bums me. I say this every time. I feel like this is my go-to line of like, we're at 10, we're at 12. I feel like I've been saying this for about ever since COVID was over. I know I'm not supposed to say that word, but it just feels like this is dragging on a little bit too long now, and I don't really care anymore. I just want, want to move on.
Well, you know what? They're trying to like, they got the UFC St. Louis thing coming up. So they're trying to get back out into these cities, but it's, I don't know. I mean, have you heard about the WWE thing that they're about to do in the Apex too? Like, yeah, they're about to.
I mean, I heard that they were planning on doing something like that. I mean,
it's like
I don't really give a fuck. I mean, I don't watch WWE. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, they're obviously in bed with the whole Endeavor thing now. So I'm not really that surprised. Like,
it's a multi-purpose center now. It's a place you can rent out for bar mitzvahs and stuff. If you need, whatever you need to do, you can do that there.
Yeah, they should just hire it out as a birthday venue and stop fucking around with like, it's fucking ridiculous. Whatever. Yeah. So hopefully Mikey can hear us. I'm really excited about this one because for those of you who don't know, Mikey is somebody who's been like a very active person in the channel. He's somebody that I've engaged with like for a long time. So I've been badgering Mikey to get on here. What feels like a long time now. And I think there's a couple of technical issues, but hopefully we can get Mikey involved as well. But what we'll do for now is we'll just crack on in the meantime. So looking at the first fight on the card, we've got Maheshate versus Benitez, which is at lightweight. Yeah. How do you think this one's going to go? I mean,
well,
just open up, but how do you
see this one? You know what though? Like, I actually think this is a pretty good opener. I think that Benitez is actually kind of underrated. He's had some pretty decent showings, even in the losses that he had. He showed that he's competent, but obviously this is built for Maheshate to destroy him, and kind of leap forward, being that he's 11 years younger than Benitez. But Benitez is Mexican, man. He's Mexican through and through, and he fights like a Mexican dude. Like, he's like, he has that pride about him. And so I don't think he just gives it to Maheshate by any means, but I think the line is appropriate. I don't know if this is one of the ones that you would probably call as a fluffer in a parlay. Is
this? Yeah, I don't know if I'll go that far, because there's definitely some danger here. I was kind of, it's funny that you bring up that Maheshate, because Maheshate is 24.
Yeah,
he looks like he's on the wrong side of 40. I'm being honest.
He's got an old face.
He does have an old face. Yeah. Mikey's in it. Welcome into the chat, bro. Hopefully we can get you. You got Maheshate by KO. I don't think it's a bad pick. I think I am picking Maheshate as well.
Yeah.
Because obviously, despite looking like a fucking old age pensioner, he is only 24 years old. So I think he's younger. I think he's more explosive. I think what you were saying about Benitez is reasonable. Like, he's quite skilled. He's fairly sharp. He's got good. He should have the speed advantage. He's got decent kicks. I like his kicks, but he's fucking old as well. He's actually old.
Yeah,
I know
he
he
is.
looks younger, but he's actually old. So I'm gonna say Mahashate. I'm not too thrilled about the odds, but
You think they should have been closer?
I don't know if Mikey can hear us or his mic's working out. If you can, we see if we can get. I'm not sure what's going on with your mic, but it's nice to have your face in there. It's nice to have your face in here, though. I'll take that for now. It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's on its way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mahashate by win as well. It wouldn't surprise me if this went to a decision either. But but yeah, Mahashate should be I think a KO is fairly live, and I like him to get this one done. I'm going Mahashate.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right. So next one up, we've got Petrovic versus Liang Na at flyweight. Can we call cake on this?
Yeah, probably so. Yeah.
Can we? Is that all right?
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'm obviously talking about Petrovic, not Na, who's obviously got an ironing board back there and looks like a 9-year-old. Is that unfair to say? I feel like
no, it's accurate. It's accurate.
Who's attracted to Liang Na, you should be on some kind of list.
Yeah.
I mean, the FBI should be looking through your shit. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I think the only thing is, like I do. I'm going to ask what you think about this one first before I dig my toes in, because I've got a few comments about this and I'm not sure.
I mean, this is obviously them trying to find another contender in that flyweight division. This is an extremely lopsided fight from a looks perspective, as far as and as a John Navarro. From a looks perspective and a fighting perspective, it's a mismatch. Yeah, Petrovic, if she doesn't find a finish, man, I'd be super disappointed. But it is a women's MMA fight, so you never know. But I do think she'll dominate her. So, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. The thing is, yes, I know that obviously, like, Petrovic lost her debut against, I think it was Luana Carolina she fought, right?
Yeah.
I thought that fight was a bit closer than. I thought she actually kind of might have won. It wasn't a very impressive performance, but I thought she might have won. I thought it was a little bit. It was, one of those ones that's a bad decision, but not really a robbery.
Yeah.
It was one of those. I didn't really like the decision.
Yeah, it was a bad decision, but really everybody lost.
Everybody lost, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I fucking, yeah, I did not enjoy that whatsoever. But I can kind of forgive the loss. It doesn't really mean that much to me. Liang Na, comparatively, has obviously had 3 fights in the UFC. She's lost all of them. And the one that troubled me was when she fought JJ Aldridge. And she made JJ Aldridge look like Kayla Harrison in there, which is a concern. It's a concern. My issue with this fight, I do think that Petrovic should win, but I'm not too keen on the odds. I think having Petrovic at -500 is a little bit too concerning to me. I'll put it that way. I don't love that. There's no way I'm going to tell anybody to bet -600 on Petrovic. That is wild. I think it's -600, -500. I'm not sure, but it's way too wide, whatever it is. And I'm going to go with fuck that. I'm not betting -600 on any woman. I don't care who it is, let alone somebody who made Carolina look good. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely can't be trusted.
Yeah, you're right, John.
I'd say don't bet on it, but like I said, Petrovic, I can't even say use it as a fluffer, because it ain't a good fluffer. not a juicy
No,
fluffer for me. So I would say leave that well alone. But yeah, Petrovic should win, and like she should dominate her. But it's weird because I do think Liang Na is she's not awful. She's just not very powerful, and she's tough. She's good at
mm-hmm.
taking an ass whooping. So I guess that means
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, you never want to hear that when your fighter is, oh, he's tough. That
Yeah.
means that he's been beaten on or she's been beaten on and didn't go away. It's like that's not really the attribute that you really want.
Nah. It's the old backhanded compliment again, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's not a good look. So yeah, I do think sure. And like I said, I usually back Chinese fighters,
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like I'm obligated to, but
You
I'm not
are.
doing it this time. I'm not doing it this time. Fuck that. I'm going to take Petrovic, but I'm clearly saying don't bet on this one.
Please don't.
All right. Yeah, so I'm a little bit confused about the next one, because this one was I'm not even sure if this one's happening.
Yeah, I saw some different stuff on the internet on this one. I'm confused a little bit on this one, but it still shows here on Tapology that it's still happening, and they're normally pretty quick.
Let's just assume it's going down. What do you think about this one?
Well, first of all, on the nickname watch, we got James. Is it Lontrop? Is that how he's Lontop?
Lontop.
His nickname is Goku. His nickname is Goku.
I saw that.
Yeah,
he does have the Goku hair. It's like maybe that's it. I don't know.
I guess that's where it came from. That's okay, I guess. But Chris Padilla is, see that's what I'm seeing on Tapology is that he's fighting Chris Padilla. That's what I see.
Yeah, I thought the Chris Padilla one was the one that was cancelled, and now he's fighting Green.
I don't know.
It's all bizarre.
So assuming that he's fighting Green,
which is actually, a rematch, by the way.
Yeah. I like this fight a little bit more than the Chris Padilla fight. And you know what is interesting is like this is his third. So originally I think Lando Venata was supposed to be filling in.
Oh, all right. So let's just get some clarity on this. John is saying that Padilla is the replacement. Was the Green fight ever booked then? What's going on with this?
It was. Gabe Green pulled out, is what I'm saying.
Right. Okay. So let's switch focus here then, and we'll say it's Padilla versus. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't really care about this fight, but we'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Padilla versus we'll say it's Padilla.
Yeah, Chris Padilla. Yeah. So in that case, I still think that this is a fight that they're trying to create a layup for James, for Goku. I was calling him Goku.
You think so?
I think they're trying to create a layup for him. He's got a nice win streak going, so they're trying to build him up. I think everybody that they're putting in there are people he can beat.
Was he in on the Contender Series or anything? Because I'm going to be honest, I kind of slept on this one. I've been trying to do more research. This card did not. I didn't go too far in. I'll be honest. I don't really know who the fuck this is.
For Lontop, I don't even remember if he was on. Let me see. Was he on the Contender Series? Yeah, he was. Yeah, he won. Matter of fact, his last fight was on the Contender Series against Malik Lewis.
Oh, yeah. I remember that fight.
Yeah.
I remember that fight.
Yeah. Whatever. So originally this is supposed to be Lando Venata. Then it was supposed to be Gabe Green. Now it's Chris Padilla. That's how the whole flow went. I would have liked the Lando Venata fight.
Yeah. I just like him. Lando Venata. They must have some stock in the guy because like that's a vet right there.
Yeah. Yeah, clearly, because Lando gave, remember when he fought Tony, he gave Tony all kinds of work, and that was prime Tony. So Lando's no joke, but
he hasn't had much success since then. Like, but he at least has bangers and is kind of known, especially to hardcores. Like,
Yeah, yeah. But James Goku, he should walk out of this with a win. I wouldn't bet on this at all, but because don't know enough about these dudes. They both are suspect. So this dude could walk in here and get knocked out, but I don't expect that. I think that he'll win.
yeah, that's the thing. The encouraging thing, if you're betting on this guy, is that obviously he is coming off a knockout, which is
Hmm.
something you can kind of. It does add to the confidence greatly, and obviously he's going to have come. He's been known about this, that he's fighting on this card for some time, whereas I imagine his replacement has not.
Nope.
Looks
That
very last
always
minute by the
helps.
way this has gone down. So yeah, I think you could go Goku, but I would or Lontop. I would stay away from this betting wise as well. There's not a lot of value. I think there's a lot of risk involved. So I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't know. I think I'd stay well away from that one. All right. So next up, we've got Marnik Man versus Ketlin Souza. Now, this feels like another weird one to me because fucking hell, this card sucks ass, doesn't it? Jesus Christ. I'm trying to sound like I give a fuck, but this is difficult.
It's tough, man. It's
It's
tough.
tough. It's tough. This card's, or so far, there's a couple on there that we'll
Hey,
get to.
y'all, we knew this was
I
gonna
think,
happen, but we knew this was gonna happen. Like in the chat, y'all let me know, like who expected anything better than what we're getting from this card and from 301. Like we could, after what just happened at 300, that ridiculous event that we just saw,
I
um
expected more.
and ridiculous in a good way. I don't, Dana, don't get mad at me and put me on the video, but
If I get mad at me and put me on a video, I could use the exposure.
well, yeah, you know what, honestly,
We should have gone more hard, to be honest.
maybe so, we would have made the video, but who expected a better card? You know, this is just kind of what you get after you use all the good stuff in the refrigerator. This is the scraps. No shade to any of the fighters, but like these are not household names and these are not ridiculously entertaining matchups. Even though I think that Souza is a pretty decent fighter, and she should walk through man. Man's too little for this division, but um, it's not going to be super exciting by any means.
No, no. The thing is, yeah, because I remember Caitlin Souza was the one who her debut was against Karine Silva, right?
Yeah,
That's fucking
hmm,
harsh, man.
that's a terrible person to be matched up with.
That is real harsh.
I think she snatched a knee bar on her.
Yeah. So it's kind of very difficult to say she sucks or whatever because that's a tough fight to walk into.
Very tough fight. Very
That's not
tough. And
a
you
fight to
know what?
walk.
And they fight, man. They fight down there. Like they don't care about their records. They're not trying to pad anything down there in Brazil, with their matchups. Like if it's a good fighter, like that's why the other Silva girl, Natalia, she's got 5 losses. But like
Yeah,
her losses are to legit people, like really, really good fighters. And she's
yeah, for
getting that
sure.
early. And I think that Caitlin Souza she's kind of the four losses that she has are against really good fighters. So
Yeah.
um, I don't think Marnik Man is a
I don't
great
know what
fighter.
Morning Man is doing here.
I don't
Like
know.
she lost on the Contender Series, and then she was given a debut, and then she lost that as well. What
Yeah,
what are we doing? I don't
I
get
don't
it.
know.
I'm a bit confused about that. I'll be honest. It's strange. A very strange one altogether. I don't get why she's on the card. It's bizarre. Or why she's still in the UFC, but
She won't be after this.
no, she won't. She's probably gonna get slapped, but we'll see. Um, I think it's gonna be fairly comfortable for Ken. Oh, the one thing I will say about Marnie Man again, she's tough. We can give her that.
She's
That again,
durable.
she's durable. Yeah, it's one of those. You take a good beating. Well done to you. It's that kind of one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say that Sousa wins. again, I know it sounds like a cop out because I do this a lot with women's MMA, but I'd probably say this goes to a decision, and it's probably going to be Marnik Man getting slapped around like a pinata. 15 minutes. That's what I think is going to happen. Like
Yeah.
I can't predict anything else outside of that, really. Mikey, just as a quick sidebar, when I'm trying to log you in, it says that you're, just to clarify some things because I've looked into it. It says that your devices aren't connected. So it says your camera's connected, but that your microphone isn't. So that might be an issue we might need to look at, but we will sort it out. So don't worry about that. We will fix. To be honest, it's not a very professional operation around here, so these things happen from time to time. All right, we got next fight up. We got a heavyweight, fucking heavyweight. Dontel Mays versus Cal Machado. Yeah, what do you reckon?
Well, this is tailor made for Machado to win. Machado, most of his wins are by submission. Dontel Mays has subpar takedown defense. This is going to go to the ground, and Machado is going to submit him, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what's going to happen, unless Dontel Mays has changed up his game completely, which I don't think so. From his last fight, he's going to get submitted.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I don't get how somebody can be at Jackson Wink and be this shit. I don't understand it. Is John Jones just like, instead of buying a punching bag, let's just get this lumbering goof in, and I'll beat him up every day. So I can actually feel what it likes to tuck in.
They're not that good at scouting heavyweight talent there. Like, you got, I mean, I think what Arlovsky trains there, but that's Arlovsky, like past his prime, far past his prime. Arlovsky, like outside of that,
Did he fight Arlovsky? The fight before this one, Dontel Mays, and he knocked him out. That must have been awkward.
Yeah, he fought Arlovsky. Yeah, it was last year. In a fight that somebody had to win. But I don't know, man. They don't do very good with heavyweights there for whatever reason. And this is just a bad matchup for him completely. Awful.
Yeah, it is awful. I think he's going to get slapped up. I think I agree with you. I think he's going to get taken down because the thing is that although Machado didn't look amazing in his debut, he was fighting Nick Parkin, and I thought it was a close fight. Like I wasn't sure who won. And I agree with Mikey. The UFC does like what they've seen. They must like what they see with Cal to some extent. And like, if you're a fat fuck, you can throw hands a little bit. You can kind of make your way into men's heavyweight quite easily. There's a career there for you because it's like you win one fight and you're in the top 15. That's what it feels like, or close enough.
Mm-hmm.
If you've had a good record outside of the UFC and then you come in and you smack someone out, you're not far away from, you can win 2 or 3 fights and people are like, this guy could fight for a title.
Yeah,
it's that kind of situation. So yeah, I'm gonna say that I agree with you. I think Machado's gonna take him down, and I think he's gonna probably submit him on the ground. I can see that being a likely outcome.
Yeah,
I like that. And the odds on Machado are quite good. Like this is one I would be tempted to bet on. I won't. It's one that it seems to me with the money that's involved, there's a clear path for Machado here. Whereas Dontel Mays is slow. He's got the worst toenails I've ever seen in my life, by the way. I just need to point that out. The man needs a pedicure immediately. I don't get why people turn up on TV looking like John Jones is the same problem. While we're at it, like, I don't know why I'm bringing this up. This is gonna be on another lengthy highlight of like me talking about things that I shouldn't. Do you know what I'm saying? Is this him falling out of the closet again moment? Why is he looking at men's feet? But
Well,
It
this
is
one I
what it
can
is.
understand because this is a hazard. You know what I'm saying? This can affect the fight. If a dude has eagle talons on his feet, like
Yeah, that's how I would
that can
describe it.
and you kick somebody like and you scratch them, like it can open up a cut. Now that's affecting the fight.
So I
Like I
really
think
appreciate you giving
it
me
should
a
be
get out.
mandatory.
I
It
appreciate you
should
giving
be
me a get out here and say this is a relevant part of the breakdown that we
no.
can make the toenails relevant to the outcome. Thank
It's
you, man.
true though. It's true though. I
Thank you,
mean,
man.
like
Save
that
me.
could be bad. That could be bad. I mean, I'm your boy though. You know, I got you.
Thank you. I appreciate
But
that. I needed that because that was bad. Yeah. I need to stop just saying what instantly comes to my mind, but I wouldn't be me if I didn't. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the guy with the better toenails. I assume he does. I don't know.
yeah,
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go with Machado. I think the UFC obviously likes him. He did okay against Parkin, and I just think he's better than Dontel Mays. And I like the odds. So Cal Machado. All right, next one. We've got Hubbard versus Figlac. I've got some opinions about this one, but again, I want to know what you think first. How you feel
you
about it.
know, Thud. These nicknames always jump out to me. Uh, Austin Austin Hubbard's nickname is Thud.
I'd call myself. I'd call myself. If I was him, I'd call myself Austin Mother Hubbard. Just I'd roll with it. I think that's
Yeah.
it makes itself. It writes itself, in my opinion.
Oh man. Let's see. Yeah, they're both coming off losses. Um, I don't know, man. There's something about Austin Hubbard. I feel like he can really. Uh-oh. Um.
What's happened?
Wait. Hold on. My son is texting me.
Okay, so I'll take over in the meantime while you deal with the
Yeah. Go
message.
ahead. Go ahead.
I Yeah, Austin Hubbard is a weird one to me because I actually think he's not terrible. I can't really figure him out. And the weird thing is he's a dog in this one. And that kind of surprised me, which is why I feel more inclined to ride with him. Like Figlac is how I'm going to pronounce him. He fought Ziam a while ago. I think it was like 19 months ago. And he got out grappled by Ziam, who is like primarily a kickboxer.
Hmm.
So I don't feel confident betting on him. Um, I think Hubbard is a better striker, and I think he's faced much better competition. I don't think Figlac carries a lot of power. He's been very inactive. I don't understand why this man is such a heavy favorite. This feels like a trap to me. So I think I can see this one going to a bit of I wouldn't be surprised if it went to a decision. I think
Yeah.
Hubbard's going to get back on track here. I think he's going to beat him up and win at least 2 rounds. He's more experienced. He's more active. He's more well-rounded. And I don't understand why Figlac is such a heavy favorite. So fuck him. I'm going for old Mother Hubbard. I'm riding with
Yeah.
him.
Hey.
Let's see how confident I feel is whatever. Fuck this
I'm good.
card.
This card is rough, dude. I'm gonna jump off the chat and go deal with this, and I'll be back.
Okie dokie. Sounds good to me. I think what I'll do is I'll pause it there then in terms of talking about the fights, and I'll just sit here for a while and see who turns up. I think I'll do that. So Mikey said, I picked Hubbard. He's fought some dudes and Figlac looks kind of the part, but he lost his debut and wasn't like, yeah. I agree with this. I think I think that Hubbard he's quite well rounded, and I mean wasn't it Hubbard who fought what's that guy who quit who looked quite good? He looked all right up until a certain point, and then you made the guy quit on the stool, and there was the whole like hoopla about that shit. Can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. He was like 5-1. He quit on the stool, and then I remember Dana came out and like defended him and was like, "Oh, you don't know what it's like being in there. Like it's tough." And then he instantly cut him after that, which I thought was kind of funny. And then I think he turned up in the PFL after that and got a couple of wins. But yeah, this is the worst fucking card of all time. This is literally this card stinks. It really, really stinks. You know, like I'm somebody who puts like a lot of research into doing cards. I could not be fucked for this one. I could not be fucked for it. Like, so you might want to take some of these picks with a pinch of salt because I don't care about this card. Like, we're definitely not going to do a live. This will be one that we don't do a live stream for. I just can't be bothered. Like, I don't. Yeah, I'm not very motivated about this one at all, to be honest. But yeah, in terms of this fight, I do think that I think Hubbard's a live dog. I think at plus 130, you've got to take him. I think you've got to take him. I think he's good. I think he's got some skills. You know, and when he tends to lose, it tends to be, you know, in situations that he shouldn't, which I guess is a little bit worrying. But I'll take him. I'm just going to press on, actually. Next fight, we've got Rani Yahya and Victor Henry. Yeah, this one was one of the easiest ones on the card for me. I'm picking Victor Henry, obviously. The thing is with Yahya is he's not only old, but he's very one trick. He's only somebody who's gonna cause you a little bit of danger on the ground, and I don't see how he gets Victor Henry down. He's got like really good takedown defense. So this one feels completely fucking pointless. And again, the odds make it. You know, if you're looking at this fight as maybe something to bet on, there's no point. I mean, with Victor Henry at minus 520, he's definitely going to win. But with MMA the way that it is, you know, the worrying thing for me about betting on anyone that's like minus 520 is even if somebody is streets better than somebody else, you can't guarantee that something fucked up isn't going to happen in there. You know, he kicks him and his leg snaps in half and he loses. Like, I can't justify betting minus 520 on anyone because there's just that factor of anything can happen in there. And yeah, I just don't think it's worth it. I do think that assuming that nothing fucked up happens, obviously Victor Henry should beat the fuck out of him. And I'm actually picking Victor Henry to get a knockout here. I think he starches him out, but I don't see the. I am going to watch it. Like I do watch every card. I have to. I'm going to be on. It's going to be weird because obviously I'm not going to be in England at the time, so I don't know how that situation is going to work. I'm going to try and bring some. Hopefully, like my obviously I've got Discovery and I've got UFC Fight Pass, but I'm not sure how it's going to work abroad. So we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely going to watch it. But we'll kind of. I'm not. I have to watch. Yes, yeah, it's like no UFC again this week. Thank you, Weston. That's a fair thing to say. It feels like there's no UFC this week. And what bothers me about this card is not only is it dog shit crap, which it is, it's as useful as a bag of dog shit, is what this card is, because not only are the fights majorly shit, I'm not seeing much in the way of value either. Like, one thing I did do, I do have a parlay running at the moment. Let me just remind myself of what it was. Let me pull this up. Because I don't even remember what it was. So I had Karine Silva against, and again, I don't usually bet on women's MMA, but I'm going to get to why I did that one in a minute. I've got Uros Medic and I've got Mateus Nicolau. Because I think the odds on those they're decent. But this is what I'm saying. Usually if a card is stinky, you can kind of justify it by being, well, the fights are crap, but there's value. You can find value in different places. In this card, it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like there's any value whatsoever. So, yeah, in terms of the Victor Henry fight, I'm picking him. I think he's going to knock him out, but at minus 520, I don't want any part in that, and I wouldn't advise anyone to bet on it either. Because even as a fluffer, anything can happen. And Rani Yahya is not the best, but like I said, anything can happen. This one now, I don't really like the odds on this one either, but I'm still going to stick this one in a parlay because I think it just about hits that I don't know, that cutoff point for me where it's kind of worth where the value of how good I think the person is against the other and what the odds are kind of work out for me. I think Medic is going to win this fight. Stupidest nickname in the world, by the way. Dr. Medic. It's like if it's like if Mirko Crocop called himself Mirko Policeman Cop. A fucking stupid nickname. There are so many different ways he could have gone with that. Yeah, I actually think that this one was a fairly easy pick for me again. I think that I know Medic got absolutely dominated towards the end of the fight by Oralby, but like that dude is really good, and he's a fucking lab experiment. That guy is odd in terms of how he was definitely made in an underground lab somewhere. So I'm not even going to dunk on him too hard for that loss. And he was actually doing really well in that fight. Like he was winning, he was piecing him up until he got dragged down and fucked up. But I like Medic at welterweight. Means is like fucking old as well. He does have a lot of experience, but Medic is not exactly young in the game either. I just think Medic is better rounded. And I think Medic is gonna. I think he's a much better technical striker. I think he's got good grappling defense. And again, it's that same compliment we were giving to other fighters. I don't think Tim Means is a bad fighter. He's obviously a dog tough. He's going to be hard to get out of there. But yeah, I think I think the only way that Tim Means can win this fight is making it scrappy. Making it really scrappy, making it horrible, and maybe catching him and dropping him. Again, it's that puncher's chance situation. But given that Medic is only, he's minus 300, I don't think that's bad. I think those are fair odds. I just think he's better well-rounded, and I think he looks really good and really strong. He's really strong at welterweight. But like Mikey's saying, this is not a bad fight. I think of all the fights that are on this card, this one deserves to be a little bit higher up. And I actually think that Medic has a good chance. He's got a good chance of doing something at welterweight. Like I think Oralby came in as an underdog, which is not a guy you really want to not have a count for and not be prepared for. So yeah, I don't really blame him that hard for that loss. And I think Tim Means is, like I said, Tim Means is 40 years old. I don't see where he's better than Medic, and unless he makes it really, really ugly and scrappy, I think Medic should get this done. And I'm kind of expecting. I think Medic is going to finish him. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with a finish. Who was it that sparked Medic? I think it was Oralby, wasn't it? Let's have a quick look. He lost to Oralby in his last fight. But like I said, Oralby he's a fucking savage. That's a nasty fight to come into on short notice. And he neck cranked him. And he got rear naked choked by Jalen Turner. That's not a great look. But, I think the performance against Matthew Semmelsberger was really good. Because I thought Matthew Semmelsberger was going to be way too big for him. And Medic did really well in that fight. I thought he was good. So I've got faith in him. But no, Medic hasn't really been He got dropped by Oralby, but then got neck cranked on the ground. He didn't look amazing in that fight. But like I said, I think Oralby is going to be really good. I think he's going to be one of those guys that we're going to see do big things down the line. I like Oralby to do some good stuff. So I don't really hold that against Medic. But I think he's going to be too good for Tim Means. And I think he's going to make some good progress at welterweight. I like Medic, and I like this weight class for him, and I think he's going to do all right. So I'm picking Medic. I've got him in my parlay. So yeah. All right, this is the one that I think I was when we had Jackson, and obviously I know that you were going to be on this as well, Mikey. This is the one that I expected to get a little bit of pushback from, but I'm not sure how people feel about this fight. Now I know like a lot of people are very high on Nama, and I actually think this is a very good fight. I've got no complaints about this fight. Like, this is a shitty card, but I like this fight. Like, if this was on any card, I wouldn't be too disappointed. Now I know that everyone is sucking Onama off quite a bit, I'm not convinced by him yet. I think if this does like stay as a standing fight, obviously Onama has massive advantages. I think he's way more powerful, and I think if it stays there, Onama's likely to chin him out. But Pierce is one of those guys who's like he's very, very frustrating to deal with. He's very relentless in his takedowns, and when he gets you there, he's tough to get off. And Onama did have a lot of trouble early on in his career dealing with takedowns. I know he's improved a little bit, but as Mikey's saying here, like Onama's basically got 5 minutes to win this fight, and I don't think Pierce is going to fuck around too much on the feet with him. I think he's going to clinch with him. I think he's going to push him up against the cage. I think he's going to take him down. And Onama has a very, very bad habit of gassing out really, really fast. And I think if Pierce grabs a hold of him quickly, he's going to be able to keep him on the ground, and he's going to wear him out. And then obviously Onama's power is going to drain significantly. And I don't like his gas tank. So regardless of what people think about this one, so Mikey, would you have picked I assume you're going with Pierce then as well. I guarantee you that Jax would have gone with an armor. Jax would have definitely gone with an armor. So I'm going to say that Pierce smothers him, wears him out, and then chokes him out in the second round. Again, minus 175 is not like enormously appealing, but yeah, I like Pierce in this one. I think he's very underrated. And like I said, there's been a lot of bad shit said about Onama in his according to a lot of the guys that he's in the gym with, they say that he doesn't, he's not got the best work rate. He's one of those guys that just thinks he can get by on his power and chin guys out. And like I said, I'm not convinced of him yet. The fight he had with Nate the Train, who's obviously very dangerous, made me wary of him. He obviously had a really good first round and then just fell off a cliff after that, so I don't trust him. And yeah, I think against somebody like Pierce, who's very frustrating to deal with, is likely to drag you down and take you down and beat you up. I think I'm gonna go with Jonathan Pierce. Again, though, it's what we were talking about with this card. It's not something I'm very comfortable betting on. I do think Pierce is gonna win. I wouldn't be surprised if Onama caught him and chinned him out. That would not surprise me either. So I'm going to take Jonathan Pierce in this one. I do think he's going to win. I think it will be a choke in the second, but this is another one that's like, and it probably would be better for the division if Onama wins because he's got the look, and he does have an impressive style in terms of he does go head hunting, and if he can get things going, he could be all right. All right, next one up. I'm not sure if this is on the main card or not. I can't remember. This is a heavyweight fight between Denise and Lane. I don't really have a lot to say about this one. I think Lane is fucking shit. Like he's one of those guys where the like the phrase "big for nothing" comes to mind. He's basically a big lumbering jackass who's got no skills really. He's quite athletic. Obviously, I know the guy played American football, and he's like when you see this guy, he obviously looks like an athlete, because most time you get with heavyweight, they're kind of they're fat fucks. Let's just say it how it is. But he looks fairly well conditioned for a heavyweight, but he's just not a very good fighter. Like he managed to convince me for a while that he might do okay, but that performance against Justin Taffer was fucking embarrassing. Walked right into a shot. I mean, if you don't see a Justin Taffer shot come in, I don't know what to say about you. You can't be big and dumb. Like, you can be one or the other. And it's like, he's too dumb for me, and I just think he's going to get fucked up here. I think Denise is going to knock him out. And again, the odds aren't minus 230 is not too bad. Like, I didn't put it in my parlay because, like I said, with heavyweights, you never know how things could go down. But I think Lane is horrible. I don't think he belongs in the UFC. And I think he's going to get his face smashed in here. That's what I'm going with. So I'm going to go with Denise to win by KO. First round. Overhand as Lane comes lumbering in like a fucking Sasquatch. And just gets chin dunked and destroyed. And then he'll be out of the UFC and we never see him again. So I'm going with that. Next one up. This fight's actually okay. Again, this is another one where on the card, it's if this was on any card, I wouldn't be disappointed by it. I never usually bet on women's MMA, but this is one I feel fairly confident in doing so. I'm gonna pick obviously Karine Silva. I think she's really good. I really like her. And I couldn't believe these odds when I saw them. I think it was the odds that really. I was expecting Karine Silva to be like a -250, and I think the fact that Lipski's won recently, and she won in a fight that people weren't expecting her to. I think that's boosted that's boosted these odds a little bit. And obviously, Ariane Lipski is a little bit more well known, so maybe that's what's swaying it as well. I think that yeah, I think that the issue for Ariane Lipski is I don't see how she's going to stop Karine Silva taking her down. I don't see that. I don't see how she's going to take her down. I've just realized that Dougie's in the I pick Lane via fat sloppy wrestling decision. Very brave of you, sir, because he's fucking shit. He's a fat mess. By the way, if you are new in here and you haven't gone over to Dougie's Corner yet, subscribe to that guy. We did a pod recently that went really well. I enjoyed the fuck out of that. Yeah, fuck Lane. Anyway, fat mess. He's not a fat mess. He's a lumbering mess. He's actually very well conditioned looking, but the shit fighter. So fuck him. I don't think he's gonna do very well. And yeah, so as I was saying with Karine Silva, I think she's good. I think she's one of those ones who she does have a couple of losses on her record. I think she's like 23-5 or something. But again, as Jax was saying earlier on, they don't fuck around in Brazil. When you're fighting on the regionals, they put you up against girls that are all up and comers, and there's no babying in regional Brazil MMA. There's no like, oh, this person's going to be a star. There's none of that going on. So I think Karine Silva's going to find a way to drag her down and probably choke that chicken. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to go for Karine Silva to win by. And I know. The thing is, I was looking at Lipski's record, and she's never been subbed in the UFC. I think this is going to be the first time for her. I think she's going to get choked out. I'm honestly honored, Dougie, that I am helping you get through traffic. I feel good about that. That could be like my selling point for my channel. Just be like, when you're in gridlock, just jump on here. You know, I'll get you through it. Like I said, this card is so fucking stinky that like I couldn't bring myself to A, do the research, or B, record a video and then edit it and do all that because I don't give a fuck. Like I don't. This is like I would have preferred that they just took 2 weeks off. And we just went straight into 301. Fuck this shit card. I'm finding it so hard to get motivated to say anything nice about it. The best thing I can say is like about 1 or 2 fights is this one's okay, and that's the best you're gonna get out of me. If you're looking for enthusiasm, fucking look elsewhere. You're not gonna get it from me. This card is wank, and there's nothing I can do or say to change that. It's shit. Fuck them. Fuck the UFC for putting us through this. And I'm not doing a live stream. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that this week. I've made the decision now. I'm not sitting through this card for 6 hours pretending that it's worth it. I'm not doing it. And the thing is, I know I'm going to say this now, and then I'm going to be watching it live, and it's going to be it's going to turn out to be quite good. I hope so. I hope somebody bites somebody on the face or whatever. Something just crazy happens where we get something worthwhile. Do you know what? Yeah, fuck this card. Do you know what I want to talk about? I know this is an MMA channel. But let's have the conversation. Yeah, we can talk about the co-main and the main event a little bit later. I want to know you guys' thoughts on Ryan Garcia because I made a dramatically bad mistake on this one. Dougie, I was on with you live when about 3 hours before the fight was due to go on, and I got to. The fight was supposed to be on at 4 o'clock in the morning, right? Now, obviously, you said it in the chat, and you were absolutely correct. The fight didn't end up happening until 6 a.m. I tried to stay awake a little bit longer, and then literally 20 minutes before the fight was going to start, I was like, fuck this. I don't like Haney. He's probably going to win. So I didn't watch it. And then obviously I woke up in the morning, and then it turned out that Garcia whooped his ass for the well. He did the significant stuff. So I wanted to know what you guys thought of it. Like, it was. I'm actually going to make a little bit of a video asking if he's, you know, if all this acting crazy thing was contrived, or if it was actually, or if he actually is a nut job and he just, you know, because he seemed very, very rational after the fight, which kind of caught me off guard. I'm wondering if he just did it to make himself look weak. Yeah, I don't know. And what was so gangster about that whole situation is he weighs in 3 pounds over. He pays Haney that night the 1.5 million that he promised, and then he bets 2 million on himself to win and gets paid out 11 million, which I think is just so gangster to me. Like, you know, betting on himself as a plus, like, I think it was plus 600, plus 700. It's fucking crazy, man. So you did watch it, yeah? I thought it was a fun. The thing is, I ended up going back and watching it. I didn't watch the highlights. I went back and watched the entire thing. It was a very entertaining fight. Like, I think this is exactly what boxing needed. Boxing badly needed this, you know, because, like I said, there's no personalities in boxing. He might have skyrocketed himself as the biggest star in boxing that night. I know a lot of people don't care about him. I think the guy's fucking hilarious. And I also think, like, I watched. Do you know what turned me onto him? It was when he was doing the It was when he was doing the face to face with Haney, and they were both like so brutally honest with each other. It was just refreshing. Like, as in boxing, like, egos in that sport are on another level. You know, people are absolutely, you know, fucking ridiculous in that sport. They won't admit when they're wrong. It's a load of bravado. Kind of, I suppose it's kind of similar to the way it is in MMA, but not as bad, I would say. But it was so fucking first and I like. Yeah. Is that how you're doing it? Voice to text? My voice to text stuff, no, it always comes out fucked up. And I swear too much, so it never really works out. But yeah, I was really impressed with the boxing match. I thought it was good. I wish I'd watched it live because it would have been because obviously I knew who won, and then going back and watching it was like not as thrilling. But I think this guy could be a star, a superstar. You know, you could give boxing. The only thing I didn't like about it though was obviously fucking Oscar De La Hoya. That guy is. They need to stop giving that guy a microphone. He's a fucking brain donor. That guy. He's dumb. Like, and he's just. I don't know, man. I don't get how this guy. Who signs under this guy? He's fucking terrible. He shouldn't be getting a spotlight whatsoever. Absolute plonker. All right. I guess we'll finish off this. I guess we'll finish off what we think is going to happen. Yeah, I picked Karine Silver. I think she's going to choke her out. This is another one now that I'm interested to know what people think. Light heavyweights, Ryan Spann and Guskov. I'm picking Ryan Spann. I think Ryan Spann's going to win this one. Call me crazy. I was also surprised when Ryan Spann was such a heavy favorite in this one. He's like minus 205. I was not expecting that. I think that Ryan Spann kind of struggles with people that are quite good grapplers, and I don't think Guskov's going to do that. I think he's going to strike with him. And Guskov's the kind of guy who keeps his hands down very low, and it's very easy to take a smack. So I think Ryan Spann's going to stay at range. He's got like a 7-inch reach advantage. I think he's going to stay at range, and I think he's going to piece him up and drop him. Guskov's chin is not that good. And even though Ryan Spann's chin is not that good either, I just think he doesn't do that well. I think he does very badly against people who are good at grappling. And Guskov's going to just stand with him. And I think he's going to get chinned out. So I also think he's a better technical boxer as well. So I'm going to take Ryan Spann. Superman, not so Superman Spann, to somehow get a victory in that one. I'm not very confident, but whatever. Coin flip, yeah, fair play. Fair play. I don't disagree with that. Yes, obviously onto the main event, we've got Nicolau and Perez. again, the odds on this one. This is the one that I would say has a lot of value. This is the one I think that has a lot of value. I think Nicolau is a lock in this fight. I think Nicolau is horribly underrated. I think he's very well rounded. He's one of those guys that when he fought Brandon Royval a while ago, I thought he was going to win that fight. I thought he was going to be way too good for Brandon Royval. And then Brandon Royval obviously caught him and chinned him out and ended up getting the title. I thought Nicolau was a lock for that. Well, not a lock, but I thought he was going to win that fight. And obviously he didn't. But it doesn't take away from the fact that I think the guy's really good. And I don't think Perez is very... I mean, Perez just lost to fucking Mohammed Mokaev. I can't bet on anybody who... Take it easy, Dougie. Appreciate it, man. I'll DM you at some point. We'll hook something up soon. I can't bet on anybody who lost to Mohammed Mokaev in those circumstances. And I just think Mohammed Mokaev is so overrated, and I'm disappointed because I've been saying this guy's going to get forechecked. And I didn't think he would against Perez, but Perez had every opportunity to do so. And I'm genuinely disgusted by the performance that he put in there. Obviously, Nicolau's beaten before as well. I just think he's a better fighter. And I think Nicolau is in that upper echelon of... I'm really obviously disappointed that we didn't get him fighting Cap, but I think it might work out for the best. We obviously found out that Cap is fighting Kai Kara France now, which I think is a way more exciting proposition. I'd much rather see that anyway. So, are you picking Perez? I think Perez looked fucking shit against Mohammed Mokaev, but Mohammed Mokaev looked shit too. I thought he looked shit. And he's only fought once in... He's obviously taking it on short notice as well. I get why he's doing it. I think Perez is on the way out and he's just taking paychecks now. He didn't look very good to me. I think maybe a lock is a strong thing because, again, anything can happen. But I think he's way better than Perez. When they fought last time, I can't really exactly remember what happened in that one. Mateus Nicolau. How did he beat him the last time? I really cannot remember. I think he dominated him from what I can recall. Have they even fought before? Did I make that up? Maybe I did. I was sure he fought Alex Perez before. I guess I made that up. So I'm talking out my ass again. I think he's better. I think Nicolau's way better. I don't care if they haven't fought before or not. I think I know Nicolau got smoked against Royval, but Royval's got power. I don't mind that loss. That loss didn't deter me. And Nicolau looked really good before. I mean, look at the losses. Look at the wins that Nicolau has. He's beaten Matt Schnell, who's decent, chinned him out. He beat David Dvorak, who I actually think is very underrated. He beat fucking Tim Elliott. He beat Manel Cap. The close fight. It was a split decision, but I didn't think it was a split decision. Nobody's more of a dick rider on Manel Cap than I am. You'll see by the video I put out today about Manel Cap, funnily enough. I love Manel Cap. And I thought Nicolau clearly won that fight. If you beat Manel Cap, you're good. Like, Perez, like I said, been very... I know that Nicolau hasn't fought in a while as well, but he's been in several training camps back-to-back, and he was supposed to fight this year. So I think he's going to do a good job. Yeah, I think... So I thought you were genuinely being serious there that someone killed him. You see, I just suddenly looked shocked there. Yeah, man, I think... Yeah, I agree with Jax here. I think Nicolau is very, very good. I'm very, very high on him. I thought he was excellent against Manel Cap. I thought he's had good performances since then. I know, like I said, I know he got chinned out by Royval, but it's Royval, and Royval has power, and that can happen. That can seriously happen. And actually, I think that... Doesn't he have a... I feel like I'm making a lot of stuff up here. Yeah, that was the first time they fought. Royval, and I thought he was gonna, and I think Royval's really good as well. So I don't mind that loss. I'm not distressed by that loss whatsoever. I'm okay with it. I can ride with it. I think at these odds, man, you have to take it. At these odds, you absolutely have to take it. Getting and that's why I made the parlay as early as I did. Because at minus 185, I actually got him at minus 160. So I stuck him on that parlay immediately. It was shameless. Like as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I'm not going to get any other value on this card. So I stuck him in a quick parlay, and I'm very certain that he's going to make me some money this weekend. I'm very certain. So yeah, I'm riding with Nicolau. I'm not, again, it's not the best main event. It's a fucking stinky card. You know, it's awful. I know I've said it a bunch of times. I am going to watch it, but we're not going to do a live stream on it. Can't fucking bother. What were his odds on? Yeah, Nicolau's minus 185. Yeah, I like that. Minus 185. And yes, I got him at like minus 160, I think. You can't turn that down. You see that, you can't turn that down. I was expecting it to be wider, especially with Perez taking it really short notice. And I think Perez is old and fucked now. And if you're talking about a pull-out merchant, that's Manel Cap gets a lot of unfair stick for that. I know Manel Cap's had 9 cancellations, but he was only responsible for 3 of them. You know, so fuck it. Can you bet on American baseball? I can. Like they have the betting app that I have, you can bet on pretty much. I use Paddy Power. You know, as a true-blooded Irishman, in order voice, I use Paddy Power, and you can pretty much bet on anything. But I don't know fuck all about baseball. I have watched it a few times. Like I obviously got behind the whole like, you know, I've seen the Moneyball movie, and you know, I have watched a few baseball games because back in the day I used to bet on everything, and sometimes I'd stick a baseball parlay in there and just watch it just for the hell of it. Like so, I have watched baseball before. I don't know fuck all about it. Are you about to give me a hot tip? Are you about to give the viewing public 13 people in here, which is great. Got 13 in here. I get a lot of lurkers though. I've noticed that. Got a lot of people who are quite shy to talk. Yeah, if you've got a hot tip for baseball, I wouldn't mind listening. I wouldn't mind hearing you out. I'm willing to listen. Oh yeah, I remember you DM me about this. You've hit 7 of 8 days. I remember you did tell me about this. There were 2 guys you told me who are. So you're betting on like individual stats and stuff, right? You're not betting on the outcome of games. You're betting on this guy is going to do. Is that correct? This guy's going to have a certain amount of hits or whatever. I don't know. You will not get any expert chatter from me on baseball. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I'm assuming that's what you're doing. Is that right? I only gamble on UFC now. I used to bet on football quite I used to bet on football quite a bit. I'm calling it football again. I'm not calling it fucking soccer. You Yanks can suck my balls. It's football. I used to bet on football, but it's way too unpredictable. See, I only fuck with UFC and MMA now. By the way, if you guys are here, I would recommend that you have a look at some of the videos that we've done on the channel over the last couple of days in particular. I did a video on Manel Cap. And obviously my hit piece on Ariel Helwani finally came out. Been looking forward to doing that one. I've had that video in the bank for a while, and I'm just like, I don't know if I should release it. Because it felt like one of those ones that yeah, Weston, I learned my lesson last time when you called me out on that and skinned me for it. We're not going there again. Fool me once, you know. I ain't doing that again. But yeah, I definitely recommend you watch the video on that we did on Manel Cap. I'm quite happy with that one. I thought it was decent. And obviously the Ariel Helwani one was very cathartic for me to talk shit about that guy. I fucking hate that little weasel. So personally happy with that one. So I checked that one out. We also one of the subscribers in the channel asked us to do a video. I wasn't going to do another video on John Jones, which I really should. I should just have a John Jones specific channel, because whenever I do a video about John Jones, my subscribers seem to go through the roof. relatively. Like, and my best viewed video is actually on John Jones being the GOAT or whatever the fuck it was. Or if John Jones is the GOAT, which I said he wasn't. So maybe I should do maybe I should do more on him. But that video was all right as well. We did so he basically did a video asking if he should have his title stripped, which might be one worth checking out as well. Yeah, I'm not excited about this card. I'm obviously going to be I'll still be active in the next couple of weeks because I've got loads of videos lined up and loads of because we do a lot of topic based stuff on here. So there's one about Ronda Rousey I've got coming out, which we did a bit of an interesting spin on that. So we've got that I know that's on the docket. I know that Michael Venom Page is in talks to do the Wonder Boy fight. We actually made a video about him as well, asking who should be next. So I might want to get that one out soon because I gathered that that fight against Wonder Boy is going to get announced anytime soon as well. So that might turn out to be a moot video. There were a few more fight announcements recently as well. I thought we obviously had Bo Nickel and Jacob Malkoon, which I think is a very interesting one. I think that could be very, very tough for Bo Nickel. I think Bo Nickel might. It might be very interesting. I'll put it that way. You've heard MVP versus Neil. Hot off the presses. Is that true? You've heard that. So nothing's been finalized yet. I wouldn't mind that one. I think that's the one that I asked for, wasn't it? Bro, I've had an amazing few weeks in terms of predicting stuff. That turns out to be true. That's another one we can add to my, my Nostradamus vibe I've got going on. I quite like that fight. Where did you get your fight announcement news from? I wouldn't say anything too reputable. I'm very active on Twitter and things obviously pop up there. I have a homing pigeon that delivers my fight news as well. I don't know who's sending them, but I have that. So, because obviously the thing is, I'm such an important person in the MMA media space that I find out these things first. You've got to let me know. I need to be consulted before fights are finalized, is what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm quite excited to see what happens with MVP. There were some other ones that were coming out as well. They're not going to do MVP and Gary. They're not doing MVP Gary because MVP could fuck him up. They're not going to put Gary against anyone that could fuck him up now. That's not going to be what happens. I'm telling you that now. Gary's going to fight somebody a little bit. I know. No, apparently they're doing Gary and Covington for 303, which Jax was very against. That's looking like a likely one. Yeah, it's because like Western, I pretty much like. I feel like all I do is MMA now. I feel like all I do is MMA. Like that's all I listen to. That's the only news that I absorb. I'm getting quite one-dimensional in my. I need to pick up some more hobbies. Get back to watching some TV shows or whatever. But yeah. I think Gary and Covington's going to happen. It kind of has to after all those stupid promos. It's got to happen after those promos. You can't cut promos on each other and then not fight. That's just pathetic. So I think those two clowns will fight, and I think Gary's probably going to chin him. To be honest, the way Colby looked in his last one, I don't like that fight for him. It would be really funny if he crotch sniffed him and beat him up. I want Covington to win, but I think Gary might chin him out. I think Gary's actually underrated. I think he's quite good. I think he takes a lot of shit because obviously he's a fucking cuck, but he's actually a good fighter. And I think he's going to do. I think he's going to do well. I think he'll slow roll his career, and I think he'll do all right. So yeah, I like Gary to beat the fuck out of Covington in that one. More likely, it's going to be horrifically boring, but whatever. I'll take it. 303 needs some intrigue and matchups at the very least. And the thing is, the press conference between Gary and Covington will be fucking hilarious. It will be worth it for that. We'll get a lot of hype coming into that, so I'll take it. Yeah, that would be. Imagine that would be very satisfying. If I was Covington, I would get him down and I just like I'd hump him. I'd just shag him a little bit on the floor, embarrass him a little bit. You know, I do a little bit of you know, that's another one. You can clip that one up as well. Fucking hell. I think he puts a beating on the Colby we just saw. Definitely, Colby looked hot. Like the Leon. Another thing is, yeah, I do think part of it is that Leon is very difficult to deal with. I think Leon's a lot better than people. I know, obviously, he's champion, so people know he's good. But I don't think people understand how good Leon Edwards is and how good he's become. He's an elite striker. I know he can be very boring sometimes, and he kind of fights down or fights up depending on who he's fighting against. He's a very, very difficult person to deal with. Like very, very like diverse striker. I think like that could, and I think I stand by this. Yeah, I think when Covington came out, during that press conference and said that shit about his dad, and he saw how much he pissed Leon off. He was like, "Oh fuck!" You could see he's like, "Oh yeah, I've got too far here," and I think he shit his pants in there. And I think when he got in there, he was just thinking, "I need to stay at a safe distance and not get." Yeah. Does Leon finish Bilal? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I think he fucks him up for 5 rounds. I think he just pieces him up for 5 rounds, and that might happen in. I expect that to happen in Manchester. I think that would be on the. I think that would be on the Espinal card. I'm definitely going to that. So I'm going to one championship in early May. It's a fight night card. I think it's on May the 4th. I'm going to that one. I don't know anyone on the card, but I need to go. Like, so I'm gonna go check that out. And then I found out that Jason Jackson's fighting fuck, I can't remember off the top of my head who he's fighting. But Jason Jackson's one of my favorite fighters at Bellator, and he's fighting in Dublin. So I'm gonna pop over to that in July or June. I think it's in June. So I've already got tickets for that. And then I'm gonna do the triumvirate, and I don't care what I have to do. If I have to sell fucking sperm or plasma, I don't care what I have to do. I'm gonna get to that Manchester card as well. So I'm in the space of like 6 weeks, I'm gonna have gone to one Bellator and UFC. That's the plan. And I'm thinking I might do some kind of blog for it as well. I've been discussing what to do with it. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it because I'm unprofessional as fuck. So I might do. Obviously, I don't think I'm going to be allowed to obviously live stream inside the event. I don't imagine that will go down well. Obviously, I won't live stream the fights themselves, but I think even vlogging my reactions and stuff, I'm not sure how that's going to go down. I might have to be very sneaky about it, but we'll see. I'll definitely do some kind of like vloggy type content. I think vlogs are fucking wanky, but I'll figure out something for it. I think it'd be interesting to maybe do a review of what it's like being at all these live events, because I'm going to obviously, I haven't been to a live event in a long time. So I'm quite excited about that. Yeah, but in terms of your question, I don't think that Leon, finishes him, but based on what we saw between the two of them, I think Leon is going to just dominate him for 5 rounds. I think he'll just beat him up for 5. I think Bilal will try and crotch sniff him, and that he might get Leon down once or twice, but I can't see him doing anything when he gets him down there. I think that's going to be Bilal's main strategy. That's the way I see that going. Yeah, I might do it. That might be a good thing. That's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. I might do a thing where I do recordings of all three of them, and maybe just do a video where it's like, what's the best company to go live to? It's going to be UFC, isn't it? Maybe I'll be surprised. It's going to be UFC, probably, but we'll see. Like, especially with it being in Manchester, that should be mental, because Mancunians are crazy people, and I think it will be an atmosphere, and they're obviously going to stack the shit out of that card. So, whereas the Bellator card, apart from I'm only going because Jason Jackson's fighting, and I love that guy. He's in my top 3 favorite fighters, I'd say. Might even be number 1 right now. I just love the dude. I love his personality, and I think he's so well rounded. I'm basically going purely to watch Jason Jackson. Like you can't come to Europe and I don't go and check that out. But I do like the idea of yeah. My sister went to a one card like a month ago, and she said it was amazing. She said the pageantry was amazing, like the presentation they put on was incredible. The fights were high intensity because again, it's you get so many kickboxing fights in those events. And she said it was very interesting seeing grappling style matchups. It was a nice change of pace, and then going and seeing people knock each other's heads off. Because obviously in kickboxing matches, you get that more often than because it's purely striking. So yeah, I'm expecting that one will be interesting because they put a lot of they're not retarded. They're not retarded like the people at Bellator and PFL are. It's not a fair competitive ground because those organizations are they're run by complete fucktards. So I'm not expecting big, but like I said, it's in Dublin, and Irish fight fans are always fun. Like everyone's going to be fucked off their heads. Like the crowd will be interesting. Irish crowds they elevate something that's even dog shit. So the fact that if it was in like England or in, because I know they're doing a Bellator card the month before in Newcastle, and I was tempted to go along to that one, but I was like, why bother? Like it's not going to be that fun. It's not worth. It was what really surprised me though. Yeah, it was so how easy it was to get, and I got good Bellator tickets. I'm basically near the cage. I had no trouble at all getting those tickets. I logged in and they were right there, front row. They weren't that expensive as well. I think I paid like $200 or something. Front row. Try doing that. Like I've tried. Like when I go to UFC 303, I'm gonna have to basically pay up the arse because I'm not queuing and trying to get tickets the conventional way. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna have to find some cunt who's got there before me and pay over the odds to get good seats. I'm just braced for that. That's why I'm saying, even though I haven't booked the tickets for that yet, because obviously they're not on sale yet, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to take a hit for that one, but I think it will be worth it. So yeah, but the relative ease that I got those Bellator tickets, I'm like, fuck me, you're just embarrassing. Like, because the event tickets went on sale like 3 weeks ago or something like that, and I bought them 7 or 8 days ago. I had no trouble getting good seats. So but like I said, it will be sold out. It will sell out eventually, and the Irish crowd will be down for it. I think it should be good. And like the one event is it's a fight night, so it's not like it's a pay-per-view situation. So it might not be a fair comparison comparing one to but it's the only card that's on at the time. So beggars can't be choosers, and I'm gonna give it a shot. My sister talked it up quite heavily. So I'm gonna give it a crack. Like I said, if you're out there, you kind of have no choice. You have to. Yeah, I think that's it, Weston. I think like that's what I'm most interested in because like whenever I go abroad, especially when I go to Asian countries, I watch a lot of like regional events where like if they put on like kickboxing or Muay Thai events, I tend to watch them because they're exciting and they're gritty. Like I remember going to this place in Thailand like 5 years ago. I mean, the robberies that were on display were fucking insane. I remember there was this Chinese. I still got a video of it somewhere, because I recorded it on the day. There was this Thailand guy that fought this Chinese dude, and the Chinese guy knocked him down. I'm not joking, like 8 times. Like it was a 3-round fight. The Chinese guy fucked him up, didn't get touched, dropped him 8 times is what I counted. Like, and they called it a draw. So that was not great. I'm looking forward to seeing that because I know I rag on people to not hug all the time, but I like grappling as long as it's aggressively done. As long as you're like advancing position, you're trying to look for submissions or ground and pounding. I'm all down for like grappling contests, and if you're showing good transitions. I only hate it when people get people to the ground and then stick their balls in their mouth. Like I don't watch MMA to watch teabagging. I watch gay corn for that. If I want teabagging, there are websites that I can recommend if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't tune into MMA to see somebody stick their balls in somebody else's mouth. That's not what I tune in for. So yeah, so in those situations. But as Weston pointed out, like that's what I'm looking forward to the most with the one card, because it will be an opportunity to see what, because I haven't seen I've never seen wrestling live. I've never seen jiu-jitsu stuff live. I've watched events of it, but I've never like been there too. So it could be interesting to see what that looks like. It might change my opinion on that style of fighting a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, and the knees to the head thing is, again, I think we have a video of that on in the works as well, for the whole, like, because I know the thing is that the reason why I haven't done it is because I think MMA Guru released one not that long ago. So I'm like, I don't want to look like I'm copying that guy. Like, but no, I think that needs to be fucking abolished as soon as possible. I think they need to stop. Because again, it just gives people the opportunity to just lay in front of someone on their knees and be in a safe position. And you as the guru succinctly put it, you shouldn't be in a safe situation on your hands and knees in front of somebody. You should whoever's doing that in front of you should be getting their fucking head kicked in. I think the only things that shouldn't be allowed in MMA are headbutting, eye gouging, and kicks to the bollocks. I think everything else should be game. None of this 12 to 6 elbows bullshit, knees, any of that. I think it should all be allowed. And I don't get why it isn't. I guess they're trying to pull away from this. Oh, we're fucking barbaric cunts, whatnot. Fuck that, man. It's not. You can't tell me that a grounded knee is more dangerous than some of the other shit that's allowed to happen than a wheel kick to the head. You can't convince me of that. And it will stop people from putting themselves in that vulnerable position. This is what I'm saying. The Muhammad Makayev fight was a pure example of that. No breaking fingers as well. Yeah, I mean, there's things that, like I said, like, I'm pretty sure that's happened in an MMA bout before because people are scum. But yeah, I think grabbing someone's fingers and twisting them obviously should not be allowed. I mean, people think that stuff like teeps to the knee should be banned as well. I saw an interview that Rampage Jackson did not that long ago where he was calling John Jones the dirtiest fighter that he's ever fought. You know, because he was saying that whenever Jones advances on you, he'd just poke you in the eye. Or when you'd advance on Jones and be aggressive towards him, he'd just poke you in the eye. Or he'd just boot you right in the kneecap, like teep you right to the kneecap. And he said he still has trouble walking up and down the stairs since that fight happened. I think it's all in the game. If somebody teeped me to the knee, I'll do it right back. I'll do it first. So I don't think anything like that should be banned. But I think, like you said, eye gouging, fingers breaking, that shouldn't be allowed. Headbutts, obviously, because that's just, yeah, that's mad. That's a mad one. You can kill somebody with a headbutt. You headbutt them right up the nose. That's especially for somebody like me who's got quite a prominent honker. I wouldn't appreciate that. I like teeps. I think teeps should be allowed, period. It is nasty. It does. There is like we've seen how many times teeps to the knee, you know, fuck somebody up in the middle of a fight. But we've seen so many things fuck people up in the middle of the fight. The game's not going to evolve if you keep giving people the opportunity to. It's not a tickling competition. These lads are out to hurt each other. Very good. Thank you. This is my biological brother who's in the chat right now. Nice to see you, Mr. Burns. Aiden, did you get an opportunity to watch the Ryan Garcia highlights against Devin Haney? Just curious to know if you had a chance to have a look at it. But yeah, it's not a tickling competition, and things should just be allowed to go. Like I said, unless it's like guy trying to, things that could be murderous, that can commit murder in there, then I'm just like, yeah. anything should be able to go, pretty much. I can't think of anything else that's banned. I know shots to the back of the head is another one. I can kind of get with that. You know, people have obviously been killed in that situation. But it's like we've talked about, man. MMA has proven to be a hell of a lot safer than boxing. There's been more fatalities in boxing. So take from that what you will. You know, it is what it is. So yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff in the works. Like I said to people, I do strongly recommend looking at the Starboy video, the Ariel Hawani video. I went in on that little prick. Like I would watch that if I were you. I want that video to go far because I hate him and I want people to know it. I think he's a little scummy little weasel. And I very much enjoyed going in on him. That was really satisfying to me. So there was those two, and then yeah, the John Jones should be stripped on that. Like that video was all right. Not the best one we've ever done, but people seem to be interested in it. It seems to have gained some traction in the last couple of days. So whenever anything comes up about John Jones, it's like I said, it's low hanging fruit. People are just like, fuck it, like let's see what this guy has to say about it, so they can say I'm a clueless twat or call me a casual, which I get on a daily basis, especially on Twitter. People seem to think calling somebody a casual is somehow hurtful. Couldn't give a fuck. Yeah, but I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I think an hour and a half is pretty good. It's gone a little bit longer than I was probably expecting. But yeah, if you're here, if you're still here, if you could drop a like on this video. Like I said, watch some of the stuff that we've done over the last couple of weeks, because we do have, if you could share with anyone, that would be really amazing as well, because I release pretty much a video every day on here. And we do talk a lot about a lot of things that other people don't. So thanks to the usual people like Weston, thanks for popping in. I obviously appreciate Dougie stopping by. Always love have him in. And if you haven't seen the stream that we did with Dougie, we did a 2-hour live stream on Saturday, which went really well. Love doing that. So jump in for that. Yeah. Thanks to everyone who tuned in today. And look out for more videos this week. We've got a lot in the pipeline. Cheers, Weston. Cheers, everyone who's still here. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for stopping by.